Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video. This is episode number 472 here on NoDQ.com, the YouTube channel, and NoDQ&A videos affiliate, ringsidenews.com. Got your questions here. Actually got some questions regarding TNA, so this will be a rare TNA heavy edition of NoDQ&A video. And with the way things are going, there might not be too many more episodes like this, but I'll get to that more in a minute. Let's start off here with the first question from John Drix Romano. Hey Aaron, what did you make of MVP's heel turn? Also, with the current financial state going downhill, do you see TNA going out of business in a year from now? First off, regarding the MVP heel turn, not surprised at all. I essentially predicted it a few weeks ago. I said that it wouldn't surprise me at all if he turned heel and formed a heel faction, because that's just the way TNA operates. There always has to be a heel authority figure or a heel faction, it seems, in TNA. So I saw it coming. I didn't think it would happen as soon as it did. I thought that MVP would at least be the babyface leader of the company for a couple of months. I didn't think that it would happen literally 2 months after the lockdown pay-per-view, but that's TNA for you. Regarding the financial state of TNA, I think that it all comes down to Spike TV. And this leads to my next question here from Knowledge Allah. Hey Aaron, with the production problems at TNA, do you think that they will lose their deal with Spike TV? Please answer in video. I get asked time and time again, is TNA going out of business? How much longer can they keep losing money? How much longer can they keep not drawing at the live events, not drawing on pay-per-view? How much longer can this go on? And I think that the key here, what is critical to TNA's long-term existence, is television, and that is the Spike TV deal. If Spike TV decides to cancel TNA programming, I really feel that that will be the final death blow to TNA. And things aren't looking too good right now. When TNA first hooked up with Spike TV, that was during a time when Spike TV was interested in wrestling programming. They had just lost WWE, and it was an easy opportunity for TNA to step in and fill that void. But times have changed now, and you don't have a major name like Hulk Hogan or Sting. A lot of the big names are gone now, so Spike TV may feel that it's time to move away from wrestling, and they see that TNA is a company that is going downhill, and there's not a lot of attractive stars around in TNA. So that could be a major factor. And, TNA is doing this big taping in New York at the Manhattan Center, and, they're going to go all out and hopefully impress the Spike TV officials. And, like I said, it's really important to have this television deal. And if Spike TV decides to dump TNA or not renew the contract, where's TNA going to go? Who else is going to be interested in the TNA product? So, that is going to determine what happens with TNA, I think. And it's going to be a very interesting couple of months in TNA, especially later this summer. This question comes from Wrestling Do 95. Yo, Aaron, what are your thoughts on TNA trying to sign younger talents and letting their older talents go? Well, I think that under normal circumstances, it would be a positive if it was something that TNA was doing because they were trying to look towards the future. But, the fact of the matter is that they're doing it because they're losing money and they have no other choice. The big contracts, Hulk Hogan, Sting, and all those other guys, TNA was just shelling out too much money, and money wasn't coming in. Those guys were around and the ratings weren't going up. House show attendance was still down. Pay-per-view buy rates were still down. So TNA had to make these financial cuts. And, but they should focus on pushing young talent. In a perfect world, a company, in order to survive long-term, needs to look towards the future. So, on one hand, they need to do this. But on the other hand, it's just a sign of desperation when they have no other choice but to let go of some of their older talents and bring in the younger talents, because those younger talents will work very cheaply. And that's why guys like Kazarian and Daniels are gone, because they they were making decent money, and TNA can pay these new guys, these new upstart guys, very little. And that's just the reality of the situation here in TNA, which is very unfortunate. But TNA is going to get the cheapest labor possible at this point. All right, this one comes from Ken Carrick. Hey Aaron, now that Kurt Angle is out injured for 4 to 6 months and his contract is up around the time he is due back, do you think it would be good for him to cancel his contract now and sign with WWE so they could have a big build up to his return at the Royal Rumble? Well, I believe that Angle's contract is up around the time that he's due back. So once again, it's going to be a very interesting situation with Kurt Angle, and if TNA is going to shell out the money to keep him around. And I don't see Kurt Angle taking a huge pay cut. That's just my gut feeling. And if WWE shows any kind of interest in bringing him back, I think Kurt Angle will definitely weigh his options. And if the offer is right from WWE, we could see him decide to jump ship and go back to WWE. And also, going back to earlier, a lot of that will depend on the Spike TV deals. The Spike TV deal. If Kurt Angle sees that TNA has no future, if Spike TV cancels TNA programming, I could definitely see Kurt Angle just packing his bags and hopefully is able to get a deal with WWE. I don't think Kurt Angle will be wrestling in WWE on a full-time basis again. I don't see that happening at his age and with all of his injuries. It's unlikely he could keep up, and I don't think WWE would want him out there and competing when his body just can't rise to the occasion. Kurt Angle will definitely give it his best effort, but he might not even be able to pass a WWE physical to work on a full-time basis either. So if TNA does have these issues where they lose their TV deal, Kurt Angle could go to WWE, maybe go into the Hall of Fame. I think that would be the most likely situation if Kurt Angle was to go back to WWE. Maybe do the Hall of Fame, maybe have a part-time run similar to Chris Jericho or Brock Lesnar, and then that'll be the end of his career. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, going to be a very interesting summer in the world of TNA. What happens with them, everything's up in the air at this point. All right, this one comes from CM Punk 303. Please answer Aaron. How can WWE push Del Rio again? I think he's the best wrestler on the roster right now. The Latino fan base needs a representative superstar. How would you book Del Rio? Well, the first thing I would do, and I would have done this actually a long time ago, is I would get Del Rio back with Ricardo. Ricardo and Del Rio work together well as a team. And Del Rio just hasn't been the same on his own. Ricardo was a big part of the act, as I mentioned in previous videos. But I wouldn't have split the two of them up in the first place. But they did. They did have the split. And Del Rio has just basically been another guy on the roster. He's really meant nothing to WWE as of late. So, it might be too late, though. It might be too late to have those two reunite. And some people might see it as WWE just going back to the past and not coming up with something fresh for Del Rio. So I'm not really sure what you can do with him at this point. He's just been floundering for so long now. I don't know if you can really push him and get him credible in the eyes of the fans again. So I just don't know what's going to happen with him or what you can do with him. All right, this one comes from AJ Lauderdale. Hey Aaron, when was the first time The Rock used the people's elbow, and how did the crowd react to such a stupid move? I don't remember the very first time he used it. I'm going to say that he started using that move in the early part of 1998. That's what I seem to remember. A little bit after he started with the Nation of Domination. And I don't remember it catching on immediately. It took a while. I think it took about 4 or 5 months before the crowd really started reacting to it a lot. And it just goes to show you that some gimmicks or some moves might not catch on right away, but over time, there's potential for it to get over with the fans. And that actually leads me to the last question here today from Dave451985. How long do you think the Adam Rose gimmick or any gimmick is given to catch on in WWE before they give up on it. And just as I mentioned with The Rock, sometimes gimmicks take a while to catch on. That's why I'm not completely ruling out the Adam Rose gimmick just yet. Next week is Raw in the UK, and those fans are going to react to Adam Rose. That is one area where his gimmick is going to be over. And maybe if it catches on, and fans in the United States watch Raw next week and they see how over it is, maybe the fans in the arenas in the U.S. will start reacting to it. So time will tell with Adam Rose, and I definitely think you need to give it a little bit of time and not give up on it so fast. And that has been a problem with WWE as of late. They have this gimmick and they give up on it right away. Some people think that gimmicks like Mordecai might have been able to get over if they were given more time and more of an opportunity. And Kazarni, another gimmick that WWE just almost immediately gave up on. So we'll see what happens with Adam Rose if it catches on over time. But yeah, I definitely think you need to give these characters, a couple of months at least to try and get over. All right, that'll do it for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the very latest regarding Daniel Bryan and the WWE title situation. And stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the latest regarding TNA Slammiversary and what's going on with TNA's future. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about today's video. Share this video, Facebook and Twitter. Anywhere you go to discuss wrestling, tell them about NoDQ&A video. And I will see you guys next time for more.